Those who want to cross this border and be on United States soil, according to this rule, must first make a stop here in Mexico. Now, while many are rejoicing that prices at the pump have dropped, both Valentine and Lyle say they still have hesitance when squeezing this handle. Now, we asked Carly if federal funds will do anything to keep these battered orchards from falling into the hands of developers whose projects, like this one across the street, are popping up left and right. We also decided I should go inside the trailer for just 5 minutes. I did and got video of what it was like. I haven't even been in here a minute and I'm already breaking a sweat. I'm kind of regretting that I didn't bring my water bottle in here. I gotta tell you, not only is it hot, but it's also very dark. I had to take my jacket off after a couple minutes. It really started getting too hot. At 2:30, I had to sit down. I'm perspiring a lot. It's really hot. I'm probably at about the 3-minute mark and it's getting to be very hard. I've got an alarm going off now. I think that means my time's up. I'm gonna get out of here. They tell us that they call the city to come and get them, but the city never comes until someone poisons one of the animals. Then the city shows up to get its carcass. They're celebrating that national holiday of sorts. May the 4th be with you. It's May 4th. It's a Star Wars reference. I'm sure you get it. Garcia says this grain deal is good news and it will help in many ways in the global market, but he also has his suspicions. And Cavasso says it truly is a miracle that Alvarado was in the vicinity of Robb Elementary School, especially when you take into consideration the fact that he had BORTAC training. That, he says, makes him an elite among elites. I'm Frank McCaffrey reporting. Well, what we learned is that business in these vacation-related shops is not jumping like many expected in a post-COVID era.
It's going a little bit slower than usual.
She tells us that every day she hears complaining from customers that the biggest part of the problem is inflation.
It's the food, it's the gas, it's the rentals, everything is going up.
And that's with the price drop at the pump. On June 13th, AAA reported the national average for a gallon of gas was $5.01, an all-time high never seen since it began collecting pricing data in 2000. Today, AAA reports the national average is $4.14 a gallon. A Texas gas station worker tells us she remembers the $5 a gallon days well.
Because they couldn't go to work because they didn't have sufficient money to put gas, and then it was really difficult.
And she says she's seeing an increasing amount of people expressing their relief that gas prices are dropping.
A few minutes ago, a customer came in. They're like, "Oh, the price is already going down. I'm gonna come back to actually fill my tank."
But apparently it's not enough. A 4-week average of U.S. gasoline consumption is now just over 1 million barrels a day, and that is below pre-COVID. Those who would be driving are thinking about other prices, even when they're trying to relax. Many of the beachgoers we spoke with said that even though they were on vacation, it was very difficult to kick back and relax without thinking about inflation.
I was thinking about inflation for the past year and a half or 2 years.
I don't think we've done much other than go to a couple of restaurants.
Before, I used to maybe pay $12 or $15 for a meal, but now more often I find that it's $25 per meal.
Yes, that's right. I'm here at the Fall Furious Texas rest stop. Now, Border Patrol confirms that this is a hub for human smuggling, and we're in a part of the state that is almost entirely ranch land. One of those ranchers, Dr. Michael Vickers, owns a property here in Brooks County, Texas.
I was born and raised in a ranching environment, and it's in my genes. And it's the same thing with just about everybody in Brooks County.
His ranch is one of many here, some of which are simply massive.
My neighbor to the south is 110,000 acres. And my neighbor to the north is a hair under 50,000 acres.
And according to Vickers, those who live in his part of Texas are paying close attention to federal immigration policy.
Hi, everyone.
For close to 2 years now, the White House and Department of Homeland Security have said the problem they face with immigration policy is that the system they inherited had gone astray.
The president has spoken very powerfully about this from day one and before he assumed office. First and foremost, and most fundamentally and foundationally, we are dealing with a broken immigration system, and we need legislative reform.
Now, Vickers believes the Biden administration and DHS are actually ignoring families that have lived on ranches like this for several generations. And the result of that, Vickers believes, is that there are many immigrants found dead on ranch lands in his county. This includes one he found recently with bruises on her arms, indicating that members of the group she was with were trying to carry her after she fell, likely due to dehydration. She was found 70 yards from Vickers' front door. In this exclusive interview with RFD TV, Border Patrol Patrol explains why so many of those crossing into the U.S. illegally are found dead on these properties.
Our northern ranchlands are very desolate. Some areas do not have any cell signal, and for an individual trying to walk around this checkpoint without water, without a sense of direction, without a guide, it's a very dangerous circumstance that these individuals are being placed in.
Moreno explains that there have been many deaths in 2022.
Unfortunately, there has been a number of deaths, over 200 this fiscal year. Some have succumbed to drowning, some have succumbed to the elements up north in our Brooks and Kennedy counties. Because the elements, right now it is very hot, and individuals get lost in the brush or left behind by the smugglers if they can't keep up with the group.
But he says Border Patrol has also been able to save many people from these elements.
As of the end of June this fiscal year, RGV agents have rescued over 1,200 individuals, not only near the river, but up in our northern ranchlands.
Regardless, Vickers has seen many of his neighbors flee the situation.
A lot of them have actually left the ranch, moved to McAllen or Corpus Christi or San Antonio or even Dallas or Houston and left the ranch because of all the traffic and all of the danger and criminal activity happening on their property.
And Border Patrol warns that human smugglers operating in places like Brooks County, Texas, often tell their immigrants that they're about 5 or 10 minutes away from their destination, when in reality they're hours away from their destination. And that opens up for a great deal of danger. Frank McCaffrey reporting for RFD TV.